Well, from wherever you are tuned in, good evening. You are right on time for Newswatch right here at Hope TV. My name is Sammy Adika, and our sign language interpreter is the amazing Boniface Mureti at the right bottom of your screen right there. Now, a lot more has been happening right here in the country and beyond the borders. Remember, currently President William Ruto is in Egypt for bilateral talks, and also we're waiting to see the outcome of the extraordinary summit that he was supposed to hold between him and the Rwandan president, that is Paul Kagame, together with his, that is DRC Congo counterpart, Felix Tshisekedi. Away from that, former President Uhuru Kenyatta has castigated African leaders complaining of the decision by the US President Donald Trump to withdraw health aid to Africa. Now, speaking during the East African region Global Health Security Summit in Mombasa County, Kenyatta urged those trusted with leadership to stop crying fool and instead find solutions to challenges bedeviling Africa. While recounting on some of the steps his government took during the COVID-19 pandemic, President Kenyatta advised African leaders to be well prepared for future health crises and take necessary precautions while it's still early.
Well, the other day, crying, oh, I don't know, Trump has removed money. He said he's not giving us any more money. Watu wanalia. Why are you crying? It's not your government, it's not your country. He has no reason to give you anything. I mean, you don't pay taxes in America. He is appealing to his people. Shauri yenu bwana. This is a wake-up call for you to say, okay, what are we going to do to help ourselves? Instead of crying, tujiulize, what are we going to do? Haya ametoa hiyo pesa, sasa tutafanya namna gani jameni? What are we going to do? Yeah? To support ourselves. Because nobody is going to continue holding out a hand there to give you. It is time for us to use our resources for the right things. We are the ones who are using them for the wrong things. Yeah? The bullets and the guns we buy, we are not given for free. We buy them. And we're not buying them to go and fight wars off our shores. We are fighting our own people. Hapa too. Yeah? Brother killing sister, sister killing brother. Over stupid things. Yeah? Let us work together to bring an end to all of that and to focus ourselves on those issues that really matter for our people.
Well, now in matters politics, Deputy President Kithure Kindiki has told off his predecessor Rigathi Gachagua for his recent backlash against President William Ruto's government. Now, speaking during a consultative meeting with the grassroots leaders in Tharaka Nithi County earlier on Wednesday, Kindiki dismissed claims that President William Ruto will not manage to secure re-elections come 2027 general elections, further stating that they will remain unbothered by the term limit politics as their goal remains to serve Kenyans.
Yeah. And therefore, it is my intention that every year we will convene for purposes of accountability. That at the end of every year, the pressure I want you people now and the rest of Kenya to put on me as Deputy President is to ask me after 1 year, on behalf of President Ruto, can you tell us what his administration has done on roads, energy, water, electricity, all these things, isn't it? Where the president can join us, fine. But as his principal assistant, that's the way I understand my work. My work is to support him so that his administration fulfills its commitments to the people of Kenya. So kuna watu naona saa ingine wanani advice, wananiambia sijui ufanye hivi, sijui ukai kama unapingana na rais. And I'm wondering, is the work of the deputy president to oppose the president? Is that the job description? Wale wanataka kuoppose rais watoke nje, wajoin Kalonzo, Wajakoya na hiyo timu nyingine waanze kuoppose wakiwa huko nje. There is no problem. But you cannot be a deputy president and sabotaging the same government, or a minister flying a flag, and then you are sabotaging the same administration. Not possible. So tafuta na hao wengine, hiyo group ingine, mutupige mkiwa nje, we are ready for you. Na tutawajibu sana saa hii, tutakutana huko mbele.
Well, now on matters health, following President Donald Trump's announcement that the U.S. has pulled out of the World Health Organization, WHO, and the suspension of global health aid, the Ministry of Health has reaffirmed its commitment to maintaining HIV and AIDS treatment and programs in light of Trump's decision. Director General for Health, Dr. Patrick Amoth, urged HIV and AIDS patients not to panic as the government is strengthening regional collaborations and exploring alternative health financing mechanisms that will ensure continued access of life-saving medications and healthcare services for them. Now, the U.S. has played a critical role in supporting Kenya's HIV programs, disease prevention efforts, and health system resilience over the years. WHO noted that by the end of the year 2023, 39.9 million people were living with HIV and AIDS, and a disruption in funding could lead to a surge in new infections and deaths, further warning that this decision could significantly set back progress in global partnership and scientific advancements in public health, including innovations and community, or rather in diagnostics, affordability of medicines, and community-based HIV and AIDS care models.
The U.S. government is the largest single bilateral donor globally. In 2023, the U.S. government contributed a whopping $72 billion as development aid to the rest of the global community. Kenya and the U.S. government have had a very strong bilateral relationship, and therefore we are cognizant of information emanating from the U.S. government. But I want to assure Kenyans that we have sufficient stocks of HIV commodities, be it antiretrovirals, be it the testing commodities. We have strengthened our supply chain pipeline in the last 1-2 years to ensure that at any given time we have more than 6 months of stock. We are told globally as a best practice that if you run a big program like the one we run, where we have nearly 1.4 million Kenyans on treatment, then you must be able to ensure that you have your plan B to be able to address any contingencies that would arise either deliberately or out of events outside your control. Out of this, therefore, we can be able to report a very strong and successful program, more than nearly about 1.4 million persons on treatment, and we are on target in our 95 global target.
Now, the Independent Policing Oversight Authority, IPOA, now says that it has no capacity to investigate cases of alleged police abductions witnessed in the country since June 2023 during the anti-finance bill protest till date. Now, according to IPOA chairperson Isaac Hassan, the authority has only 77 officers handling several cases, thereby slowing their progress. On his side, CEO Elema Halake noted that they have submitted several reports to the courts, and soon the said cases will be handled accordingly.
Now, when you have got people who are in hoods with fake number plates, who are abducting people, and then they take them not to a police station, but to a different place, I think these are issues that even the police must investigate.
Investigations are ongoing. As you are aware, this is a matter which is also being canvassed in court. And we have already clearly went even to court and presented the preliminary findings from our investigations.
On matters weather, the Kenya Meteorological Department has warned of moderate to heavy rainfall in different parts of the country for the next 5 days, that is between January 29th to February 2nd. According to the Met Director General David Gikungu, the rains are expected to continue over the highlands, east and west of the Rift Valley, the Lake Victoria Basin, the Rift Valley, and the southeastern lowlands. Now, Gikungu has further projected that the counties in Nyanza, Western, and several in Rift Valley will continue receiving heavy downpour for the next 5 days.
The peak of the rains is expected to be in April for most regions, except over the coastal strip, where the highest rainfall is expected in the month of May. We are talking about higher than normal rainfall virtually everywhere in the country. The northeastern counties, where we find the counties of Mandera, Marsabit, Wajir, Garissa, where we are, and Isiolo. These areas are expected to experience occasional rainfall, whose amounts are likely to be below the long-term average for the season.
Well, basically you do have to brace yourselves for that. Now, moving to the corridors of justice, Sarah Wairimu Kamotho has pleaded not guilty to the murder of her late husband, Tob Cohen. Appearing before Lady Justice Diana Kavedza, Wairimu pleaded not guilty to the charges submitted that on the night of the 19th and 20th of July 2019 at Lower Kabete area within Nairobi County, they accused jointly with others, not before the court, murdered Tob Cohen. Wairimu will remain in remand at Langata Women's Prison, with the court set to reconvene on February 3rd for her bail hearing. Sarah was rearrested on January 23rd and now faces fresh murder charges following a review of new evidence by the Director of Public Prosecutions, that is DPP Renson Ingonga. The decision to reinstate the charges comes after a comprehensive evaluation of the new material gathered by the Directorate of Criminal Investigations, DCI. Wairimu and her co-accused, that is Peter Karanja, were originally charged with Cohen's murder in 2019, but were later released on bail. In the year 2022, former DPP Nordin Haji withdrew the charges, opting for an inquest due to inconsistencies in the case.
It's not mandatory that you make a response unless you are just filling in the gaps. I take it that you are properly represented by the state so that we do not have both of you prosecuting. But in case she's left out something really, really critical, then you ask for leave, I'll grant you leave to intervene. And at this juncture, then maybe we need to set the parameters within which you are going to operate as victims' counsel. We will need to agree on that.
Well, still in the corridors of justice, plea taking for police commanders in the Baby Pendo murder case has yet again failed to take place for the 5th time, that is today on Wednesday, after the prosecution asked Justice Margaret Muigai to give them 45 days to review review and amend the charges before plea taking can take place. Now, the suspects are facing 47 counts of crimes against humanity, including murder, torture, and rape. The DPP is also seeking the help of international police to arrest the 11th suspect, that is Mohammed Ba, who is believed to have escaped into neighboring Somalia. Justice Margaret Muigai has directed that the plea taking fixed for Wednesday, January 29, 2025, further directing the police to file explanations on why they could not arrest Ba.
We have just come out of court. There is no determination from the submissions that were made this morning by the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions, the Independent Policing Oversight Authority, and several defense counsel for the over 60 victims of the police operation that took place during the general elections of 2017. Allow me to invite the Vice President, Maura Kabata, to give a quick overview of what happened this morning.
Good afternoon, members of the press. My name is Maura Kabata, LSK Vice President. We appeared before Justice Muigai today in the morning with the intention, or rather with the expectation, that we will take off with the plea taking for all the suspects who are arraigned in court today. However, once again, from the part of the Director of Public Prosecution, they sought to adjourn the plea taking and rather unconventionally also amend the charges. Now, on our part, together with, this is the Law Society, together with Amnesty, and together with Utuwetu, including the LSK Kisumu chapter, we vehemently opposed that application for either amendment of the charges or adjournment.
Well, it is 15 minutes past the top of the hour. We do take a short commercial break. We'll be right back with more news making headlines.
I've actually been trying to find a balance. It's been really tough and hectic, but everyone says once you get a hang of it, it becomes better, and I don't know, but I'm hoping to find a balance soon because it's really been hectic. But you've been in the job industry for a long time, so I think you would know better. Sindio?
Huh? What time is it? I need to catch up on Leadership Forum. Do they have a radio here? Never mind. I brought my own.
No way. You can't be serious. Wait, why do you have a radio and you can just catch up with the shows on Hope FM podcasts?
Really? Even Meet of the One?
Yeah. I mean, you can find them on whatever platform, name it. AfriPods, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, you name it.
But I'm not subscribed on any of them.
So no worries. You can just check out the latest episodes on hopemediakenya.org.
You can now listen to select Hope FM programs on your favorite podcast streaming platform or directly on our website, www.hopemediakenya.org. Listen and live. This week on Testify.
Basically, the people who are in full-time ministry in that ministry of hers, they had all quit their jobs.
Wow.
Many of them had left their husbands and wives and children, and they were living there, like there
in
was
that
a
home.
dormitory.
What?
But they're all apostles. Everyone is called apostle so-and-so, evangelist so-and-so, teacher so-and-so, pastor so-and-so.
Yeah.
And yet they're just living there. I just felt to stop going and then not. By that time I had been researching. I had been researching cults slowly on the internet.
Okay.
I was learning about how they manifest and other things like the Jezebel spirit. So by that time I already knew these are cults, but now living cults is very difficult because you feel, I don't know what happens, but when you're under that covering, you're like bewitched. You can't live. That idea of sonship and we are like Jesus in this world, there's no condemnation. Focus more on grace, not much about sin and repentance. So when you tell me certain things, I would ask him, I'll be like, no, but the Bible says this. So that was what was interesting to me, because I was like, interesting, like I was seeing another perspective of the gospel, which I'd never had. Basically, this time the Lord showed me his love, and I understood that I am saved by grace, and the Lord really healed me.
Only on Hope TV. Look and live. Hope TV is where you look and live, with an excellent selection of the best Christian programming consisting of local and international content, of inspirational stories, talk shows, Bible commentary, youth, health shows, children entertainment, contemporary gospel music, extended times of worship, live broadcast, news, movies, drama, Christian ministry programs, and so much more. Hope TV is another quality service from Christ is the Answer Ministries, with over 45% of authentic and credible local content every week. Hope TV is a sister station to Hope FM, Kenya's leading Christian radio station, with footprints across the country. Tune in to Hope TV, where you look and live.
In a world where men often walk alone, who do they turn to for answers? Being male is a matter of birth, but being a man is a matter of choice. This is the dawn of something phenomenal. Fathers Sons, brothers, from the daily grind to the battles within. This is where real stories are told. A place where the silent struggles are given a voice. Where the unspoken truths are laid bare. No holds barred. Coming to Hope TV, Hope FM, and online platforms. Premiering on 7th February 2025, every Friday, 7 to 8 p.m.
Facilitated by Reverend Jesse Moy. Hosted by George Gishiru and Henry Mutavi.
If someone has money, they call for the shot.
Yeah, we allow money to actually define us.
Money doesn't define you.
Yeah,
wow.
Yeah.
Because if you allow money to define you, you can actually even slip into depression when you don't have it.
Yeah.
Brace yourself. This is Men on Record. It's more than just talk. It's a man thing.
Well, welcome back to the broadcast right here at Hope TV. Now, direct to Uasin Gishu County. Learning at Cheplaskei Secondary School in Uasin Gishu County was on Wednesday disrupted after students staged demonstrations over what they termed as poor school management. Walking from the school to the office of the county commissioner, the frustrated students expressed their dissatisfaction with how the school was being run. Now, Keses Deputy County Commissioner Lillian Lagat confirmed that police officers provided security to the learners as they walked for over 13 kilometers to present their grievances. Uasin Gishu County Director of Education John Gitonga said issues raised by the learners will be addressed accordingly and on time. The demonstrations comes just a week after students from Smart Boys also walked to the office of the county commissioner and presented similar grievances.
Yesterday at around 2 a.m., we received information that students of Cheplaskei Secondary School are marching to town, to the office of the county commissioner and the county director of education. I think they had their own grievances. So as we were able to coordinate with the sub-county police commander to provide them with the security. So we mobilized the police officers, they were able to follow them, and also with the sub-county director of education. They followed them along the way, but luckily enough, they did not cause any distraction in the school. They were very disciplined. And this morning, the county director of education, together with the county director, TSC, have addressed them. They have listened to their grievances and they have been advised to go back to school as the matters are being looked into.
From here we are going to follow them to school because they have gone back to take breakfast together with my sub-county director of education and the security team and the Teachers Service Commission Director. We are going to advise them further after they have taken their breakfast. We thank them for the discipline that they displayed on the way. They came at night. We have been following them up to morning, and you have seen they are very disciplined. So I hope we are going to consult with other stakeholders so that we can solve most of their grievances because they don't have many issues actually.
Now to the neighboring Bungoma County, farmers in the county have been urged to exercise extreme caution while buying fertilizer, as many fake seeds and fertilizers are always in circulation during the planting season. Bungoma Agriculture CEC Herbert Kibungushi says his department is keen to protect farmers from fraudsters who may want to take advantage of them, further stating that Bungoma County government intends to support 22,500 farmers from vulnerable backgrounds with an assortment of farm inputs, including fertilizers and seeds. Now, consequently, Kibungushi has called on farmers to consider planting a wide variety of crops that is resilient to risks and uncertainties, emphasizing the county's efforts to strengthening extension services to farmers so that pests and diseases can abruptly be controlled.
Kama county tumejipanga. Mwaka uliopita tulipeana mbolea na fertilizer na seed kwa wakulima 21,900. Huu mwaka tumejipanga tutapeana wakulima 22,500. Saa hizi tuko kwa ile wakati wa procurement kununua hiyo seed na fertilizer, na nadhani tutaweza kuwapa kabla hawajaanza kupanda. Na mambo ya hizi fake seeds, hata sisi tumesikia kumekuwa na fake seeds, lakini bado serikali kuu inafanya upelelezi kuona hii fake seed ilitoka wapi. Saa hizi tunawahimiza wakulima wetu wawe macho kabisa make sure ati wasipate zile fake seed. Na saa hizi tutaambiwa na national government what to look out for ndio tusipate hizo fake seeds hapa Bungoma.
Well, far beyond our borders, President William Ruto and his Egypt counterpart Abdel Fattah el-Sisi have signed Kenya and Egypt's joint declaration for strategic and comprehensive partnership. President Ruto says the move will greatly elevate the relationship between the two countries to a new level and strengthen their ties to boost engagements in various fields. Now, the two governments have also signed 12 agreements that expand their cooperations in trade, investment, education and research, and technology exchange, among others, unlocking immense opportunities for the two nations and their citizens. The agreements include on political consultations, diplomatic training in capacity building in foreign services, and investment cooperations between Kenya Investment Authority and General Authority for Investment and Free Zones of Egypt.
Your Excellency, Kenya and Egypt have long collaborated in the promotion of peace and security in Africa. Our defense cooperation agreement has seen over 70 Kenya Defense Forces officers undergo training in Egyptian military facilities, reinforcing our shared commitment to regional security. We recognize that peace is the foundation of progress and must work together to advance stability, particularly in regions affected by conflict. And as I commended to you, Mr. President, we commend your efforts, your participation and your leadership in the situation in Gaza and all the other hotspots around this region. And you have our commitment, our partnership, our prayers and support as you undertake that huge responsibility. Ladies and gentlemen, I commend my dear brother, President el-Sisi, for his strong leadership in promoting security and stability in Middle East and North Africa, including his tireless efforts in securing a ceasefire and facilitating humanitarian aid into Gaza.
Now, taking a look at what is transpiring in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Now, DRC President Felix Tshisekedi says he will not take part in the extraordinary summit convened by President William Ruto that targeted to end the rebel assault on the key eastern city of Goma. President Ruto had on Monday this week invited Tshisekedi and their Rwandan counterpart Paul Kagame to the meeting to find solutions to the dire situation in Goma following heavy fighting. According to the United Nations, since the beginning of the week, clashes between M23 rebels and the army and its allies left hospitals overwhelmed by casualties and bodies on the Goma streets. Now at least 10 embassies, including Kenyan, were damaged and looted by protesters who demanded that the international community intervene to end the rebel assault as they tightened their grip on Goma. Well, it is quite sad of what is actually happening in Goma, DRC. We do hope that international communities will put more weight in finding a lasting solution right there. All parties involved will also come to an agreement and cease a fire and whatever is happening in Goma. Well, that marks the end of our tonight's bulletin. Many thanks for choosing Newswatch right here at Hope TV. My name is Sammy Adika, and on the right bottom of your screens is the amazing Boniface Mureti as our sign language interpreter. To the entire team, do have a wonderful night. Goodbye.